Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, as with a human element added to our crime, or at least the possibility thereof, with a bloodstained coin shown. We now talk about the events of the body in the pool, of the fact that it was in there for a lot longer than the 10 minutes of the security camera showing when it plopped out in that pool of blood coming from Aura. Why was it there? What was it doing? If the human was there, what were they trying to do? Well, what they were trying to do by getting Norma there at that time was to create a witness. So let's press forward with our case. If that summary was even making any sense, Mr. Deplume focused her attention on the orca pool because she heard the song. The orca's act of singing a song created a witness. Created a witness? Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was the real culprit's true intention? After all, Mr. Deplume witnessed two things. She saw all the headbutt something over and over, and she saw the orca bite the victim. Those two actions of Orla's might have been the real culprit's plot to make the witness think the orca was attacking the victim. Are you saying the defendant was being manipulated by the true perpetrator? Exactly, and that would explain Orla's actions perfectly. But the defendant is an orca. Is it even possible to manipulate her? Yes, there is a way to manipulate Orla's behavior. With this. Well, she's a trained animal.
Take that!
The whistle that does it. Is this a whistle? Yes, Your Honor. Trainers of the aquarium use whistles to issue commands to Orla. But in truth, anyone can do it, provided they know the right signals. Ah, that must be how they get Orla to do tricks for their pirate shows. The true culprit hid the body in a spot that couldn't be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then, when Mr. Deplume appeared, they gave Orla the commands. In other words, Orla was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks. What? And, as for you, Mr. Deplume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of the witness, which means we need testimonies to who brought you in here. Also, the whistle means it's most likely a member of staff. Norma Deplume was set up? Norma Deplume, writer extraordinaire, was used? No! Oh god, close it! No, I don't want to see! What's she not wearing? Mr. Deplume, please do something about your attire. That was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to see. It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone other than Orla. Prosecutor Blackquill, please have the bloodstained coin analyzed. You waste your breath. I guess even Prosecutor Blackquill can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss! If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way an orca could have done it, except that she has reached via ball and jumping to get there, Athena. Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in. In light of the new discovery, it would appear the orca couldn't have done it. Exactly, Your Honor. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Orla's accusation.
Objection!
Oh, here we go. Why? Overturn the defendant's accusation? I think not. Ah! My hair! No! My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday, a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said, the moment you relax is when you're most vulnerable. And what did this man go in for? He is merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. But right donor here would be easier to hook than any fish. Okay, Taka agrees. No, Taka, leave me alone! Oh. That hawk sure does love the judge's head. Oh, you found the bag! What's this? That's coin from before and some sort of bag. A bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this. This is the coin bag the 300 coins were in. I believe you were looking for this. How did you get that? I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so naturally I had it sent to the crime lab. And Does the blood belong to the victim? It does indeed. As does the blood on the coin. I knew it! So the blood on the coin did belong to the victim. The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out. But the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as the murder weapon. However, thanks to the defense and their coin, I am more than satisfied that it was. Oh god, you're gonna say like the bag was shot by Aura? Prosecutor Blackquill! Are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with a bag of coins? I shall concede the victim was put into the pool after his death. However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact it was the orca that killed the victim. What? How can you still suspect Orla? You said that the true culprit manipulated Orla's behavior. But Orla isn't the kind of orca that would let someone control her. If anything, Orla used the victim's behavior against him to murder him. What? But... are you arguing that the orca manipulated a human being? To prove it, I have summoned another witness. Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand. Marlon Rhymes is a witness? Well, don't just stand there. State your name. I told you I didn't want to be a witness. I thought one witness would be quite enough to prove the defendant's guilt. But apparently Wright Dono won't be satisfied until every stone is turned. Well, son of a... Alright, fine. If I gotta talk, then let's get this over with. Mr. Rhymes doesn't seem like a willing witness. I wonder what Prosecutor Blackquill is gonna have him testify about. So could we have your name and occupation for the record, witness? Oh, here we go. Ahoy! Yo! 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 Ho! Ho! People of the law, time to testify! Chilling with my crew at the ship shape. Orcas, penguins at the seascape. Cleaning and feeding, there ain't no end. But them bratty kids' tours I shall transcend. Noob animal keeper from the house of rhymes. I'm the master keeper, Marlon with the rhymes. Yeah. Oh my, I'm afraid I couldn't understand a word you said. Is that what that flip-flop music young people nowadays like? It definitely is. So close, Your Honor. So close, and yet so far. I'm going to listen to the flippity-flop. Please proceed with your testimony, witness, without the flip-flop. Okay, fine. But I don't want to do this, I tell you. I feel like I'm selling Sasha out. Oh, really? The man manipulating Orca. At about 10 a.m. I was in the staff room. I heard a loud noise from the pool room. So I went to the door to look in. I couldn't see the captain or the orca, but I saw a bunch of coins scattered around. The orca knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the captain. Can I say captain with a T anymore? It's always got to be captain. Huh. So that gives us a little more info about the area around the orca pool. So the orca pool diagram has been updated in the court record once more. The defendant made the stuff fall down. Overturned crates and assorted props were scattered all over the pool room floor. There is no doubt that it was the orca that caused the mess. But could she really have done that from within the pool? As I said, the orca is the only one that could have performed such a feat. The pool and its room were tidied the night before, including its various odds and ends. But when our rhyming Marlin checked on the scene, over 400 pounds of props had fallen. To move it all in one go would challenge even the brawny prisoner in the cell next to mine. What is he? The jail gossip? So, how did 400 pounds of items fall all at once? I'll tell you how. The orca pulled on the cloth that was underneath them. A weight that would be all but impossible for a human to move. Was child's play to an orca. During a friendly game of volleyball, the defendant made the crates fall, and the bag of coins that was among the items fell on the victim's head and killed him. The orca then toyed with the victim's body underwater, which is what Mr. Plume saw.
Objection!
But the witness only said he heard a loud noise. That doesn't automatically make it the sound of Orla making the items fall. Also, why did you only look in on the pool room anyway, Mr. Rhymes? That orca sometimes makes a loud noise to summon a trainer. But I'm still a newbie, so I don't have a security card to get into the pool room yet. So even if she tries to summon somebody, there isn't much I can do about it. I see. So the witness couldn't enter the crime scene.
Objection!
If Mr. Rhymes couldn't enter the room, there's at least one thing he can't be sure about. His statement that the orca was playing volleyball is purely speculation.
Silence!
Whether the orca was actually playing volleyball or not is not the issue. Traces of the orca's saliva were found on the cloth that was underneath the crates. The important point is that the orca is the only one that could have moved the items. I have to discredit that statement somehow. Or the crane? If I don't, it'd mean that Orla was the culprit, even if the victim died beside the pool. But then there's like, a human can push it down. A human doesn't have to pull the whole thing down. A human can push from the top. The man manipulating orca. So at about 10 AM, I was in the staff room. Okay, I skipped without pressing. Right, here's the one that we know is kind of not right. To start with anyway, just because of the one piece of evidence we got surrounding him, but let's press that statement.
Hold it!
Are you sure about the time you were in the staff room? What? Yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty good with time. I've never been late to work once. If you're sure about the time, then there's something wrong with that statement. I better take another look through the court record, so we don't really need the rest at this point. Alright, please continue your testimony, Mr. Rhymes. Because we have stuff about him having to meet someone. So let's go back and go for an instant present rather than a press everything. Because the calendar, when we got it, with the whole thing around it, it was actually switched with Pill's calendar around 10 AM, which means we knew he was literally in the feed room and definitely not at the staff room. So he's not saying he's in the right location to begin with.
Objection!
This is an easy one. You say you were in the staff room, but is that really true? Of course it's true. Why would I lie about a thing like that? Mr. Rhymes, have you ever seen this calendar before? Hey, that's... I see you recognize it. Yeah, that's the rifle calendar. It's a big hit at the Ship Shape Aquarium gift shop. Thank you for shopping at Ship Shape.
Mr. Rhymes, please refrain from scattering fish around the witness stand.
Not to worry, your boldness. Taka will have them cleaned up in no time. I guess that bird comes in handy now and then.
Alright, Mr. Light. We have all seen your cute souvenir. Now, if you wouldn't mind...
No, Your Honor, this isn't my calendar. It was originally the witness's, but it came into the possession of a certain young lady. What? Mr. Rhymes and this young lady first met each other in the food prep room. After a mishap, their calendars got switched around. They ran into each other at about 10 AM in the food prep room. So clearly the witness was not in the staff room. In other words, there's no way he could have heard the noise in the pool room upstairs. Nah! What's this? This is the first time hearing about any calendar. That's because Mr. Rhymes and Pills were keeping it a secret. You lied to me! This transgression will not go unpunished! Ah!
So, Mr. Rhymes, you didn't hear the noise of the equipment falling after all, did you?
Okay, I admit it. I didn't hear the noise in the orca pool room myself. But somebody told me about it. Who told you about it? It was... Unless you tell the truth, Mr. Rhymes, I can't save Orla. And I'm sure you know how sad that would make Miss Buckler. I heard about it. From Sasha. What? From Miss Buckler? But that doesn't make sense! What is going on here? Now it's the trainer's own words that drive the orca into a corner. How would you like being bitten by your own client? Right, don't know. I certainly didn't see this coming. What perfect timing. There was something I wanted to ask Miss Buckler about the orca. The prosecution calls the trainer, Miss Sasha Buckler, to the stand.
Yes, I suppose it would be a good idea to hear what the orca's trainer has to say.
I don't know what Sasha's going to say, but I'll just have to meet her head on, whatever it is.
We will take a 20-minute recess while the witness is summoned.
And so we meet ourselves a save point, a halfway point. So the trial's taking place in 2 parts by the look of things. Alright, past 10:39 AM, I guess we get to speak to Sasha Buckler just a little bit first. Mr. Wright, are you going to cross-examine Sasha? I guess I'll have to ask her about the noise from the stuff falling down. Mr. Wright. Mr. Rhymes, why did you lie? I didn't want Sasha to have to appear in court. I thought if anybody had to testify, I should be the one to do it for her. But why would you go to all those lengths? Did you see the entry for the 20th on that calendar? The note about meeting the captain at the orca pool? Yeah, I found that calendar in the nap room. I think it's probably Sasha's. What? Then that means... I guess it does look like more of a woman's calendar than a man's. Right, so the calendar's been updated to say apparently belongs to Sasha. I didn't want suspicion to fall on Sasha. Mr. Wright, I gotta go back to the aquarium to look after the orca in Sasha's place. I'll be rooting for you on the other end of that TV phone. Please take care of Sasha. Okay, we can't let Prosecutor Blackquill get the best of us. Time to refocus. You're right. After all, we're the only ones who can save Orla. Well, the only ones willing. I wonder who these other defense attorneys are. They won't take any cases by the look of it. I guess it is the dark age of law and all. But no cases ever do stuff. No other defense attorney does anything.
The court will now reconvene. Prosecutor Blackquill, please call the witness to the stand.
Again, you waste your breath. Okay. Oh, there we are. Me name be Sasha, and I be one of Captain Orla's swashbucklers. I come to rescue me bucko from the false charges put on her by dread pirate Nostache. Nostache? I guess Nostache refers to Prosecutor Blackquill this time. Well, it can't be the judge. He has a mustache and a full beard. Now then, Captain Judge, shall we begin the pirate court?
Captain Judge? I rather like that. It makes me feel like a salty old sea dog.
And scene. How was that for a self-intro? The court is not a show. State your full name and occupation. I'm Sasha Buckler. I work at Shipshape Aquarium. I perform in our Swashbuckler Spectacular Pirate Show alongside Orla as her trainer.
Well, you seem like a completely different person now.
You really think so? Thanks. I was in my pirate show persona just then. Prosecutor Blackquill said I could introduce myself any way I like. I bet money he didn't think you were going to do it like that.
And what will this witness testify about?
The orca manipulated the victim into playing volleyball and then knocked the items down. The witness will report about hearing the noise that caused the victim's death. Now wait just a minute. Sure, Orla uses the ball to break props sometimes. She even spiked the ball at the giant octopus's leg yesterday when I was cleaning. So Orla was the one who broke that leg, huh? Well, she couldn't have knocked down that huge stack of equipment with a little ball. I thought you were paying attention to the trial over the telecast. But you apparently know nothing of what we've been discussing. The orca knocked down the equipment by pulling on the cloth that was underneath it. No one said anything about the orca knocking it down with a ball. What? What? Is that what we're talking about? I came in here to give Prosecutor Nostache a good keel hauling. But I'm the one getting the cat of nine tails. Oh, he's as vicious as a tiger shark. Miss Buckler, just focus on your testimony, you'll be alright. Don't worry, we'll take care of that tiger shark for you. Thank you, Athena. Okay, I can do this. My testimony will be phenomenal.
All right, Miss Buckler, please proceed with your testimony.
Well, here comes all the cat puns. That judge's butt. I'm not saying what I thought then. Unfortunately placed bar that just makes things look wrong. I said it anyway. I admit I heard Orla summoning me with a loud noise, but the aquarium guest's scream I heard over the walkie-talkie was more urgent. I talked to Norma Deplume first and then went to the pool room with the security guard. The equipment was everywhere and the captain was lying in the middle of it all.
Her story doesn't seem to be much different from Marlon Rhymes' testimony.
Or does it? The circumstances are different. The actual order of Orla's actions depend on the order the witness heard the two noises. If she heard the scream first, the prosecution's claims don't stand up.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, she doesn't remember the order of what she heard. She doesn't. I was distracted at the time, so I don't really recall which one I heard first. I was lost in thought until the guard brought me back to myself. Sorry I'm no help. As long as the order remains unclear, I shall not alter the prosecution's claims. After killing the victim with a bag of coins, the orca toyed with the body in the water. I have to turn things around here somehow. Unless I can prove the sound Sasha heard was not the sound of the victim's murder. Blackwill's claim that Orla pulled down the equipment to kill the victim will stand. If I want to save Orla, I have to find a contradiction, no matter how small.
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright.
And so, the cross-examination comes. I admit I heard Orla summoning me with a loud noise.
Hold it!
What made you think Orla was summoning you? Orla knows the sound of her cries doesn't carry far enough, so sometimes she summons people by making a loud noise. Haha, Orla's smarter than the average well, I tell you. Taka would not be bested in a battle of wits. Wait a minute, Widget is the smartest one of all. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the smartest one of all? Widget! Am I expected to enter Trucy into this my kid is better than yours Appaloosa? She is. And did you heed the summons of this very intelligent Orla immediately? I couldn't right away, although I was concerned about her, of course. But the aquarium guest's scream I heard over the walkie-talkie was more urgent. Now, why did she have a walkie-talkie, I guess? Would be a good question. You heard Mr. Plume's scream? That's right. I heard her through the walkie-talkie of a guard making his rounds. Ah! I can still hear it in my head. It was so loud I thought it was a sea lion. Mr. Plume sort of reminds me of a sea lion, actually. I know, right? Oh, I should call her a sea lion lady and see how she likes it. I guess Athena is still upset about being called Yellow Girl. Yellow Fan, actually.
What did you do after hearing the visitors scream?
I talked to Norma Deplume first and then went to the pool room with the security guard.
Hold it!
You and the security guard headed to the orca pool room? Yeah, apparently that obnoxious rider lady said she didn't trust me by myself. That's why after talking to her, the guard and I went to the pool room together. That's an interesting thing to say. Why be the wedge so suspicious? Arr, I demand a swordfish duel! That's what I felt like saying to her anyway.
I'm afraid I don't get it.
That was a line from the show when Orla and Sasha quarrel with each other. Didn't you do your swashbuckler spectacular homework, Your Honor?
Why am I getting scolded here, Mr. Wright?
And why am I getting scolded here, Your Honor? Miss Buckler, please tell me what happened after you headed to the pool room. Alright, when the guard and I got there, we saw that... the equipment was everywhere, and the captain was lying in the middle of it all.
Hold it!
What do you recall about the scene exactly? I don't remember much, to be honest. I was in total shock from seeing the captain like that. If you ask me something specific, I might be able to remember, though. Right, specific questions. So, what should I ask her about? The things scattered around or Jack Shipley? Well, the corpse would be in the water at that point in time, wouldn't it? It'd be about the things scattered around? Coins, etc., I guess would be a thing to look at? I don't know. Oh, we can come back to this, but this is obviously our statement we're looking at. Could you tell me more about the things that were scattered around? They were equipment and props for the new show. The new show? Yeah, we were supposed to debut a brand new Swashbuckler Spectacular yesterday. We already defeated the giant octopus and no stash after all. We were going to have a new nemesis, Red Stash. He's on the flyer. Same guy though. Captain Hall has a new rival featuring the dashing Red Stash with a fluttering red scarf. Oh, that's the flyer Rifle was distributing. Who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the Skull Rock? Oh, I wish it could be me. Skull Rock. Leave it to you, Athena, to know all about it. Oh, it's even got some new tricks for the new show. Alright, Swashbuckler Flyer has been updated in the court record. Now, this is incredibly pertinent. So all the stuff that fell down was for the new show, is that it? That's right. A bunch of props and crates and other equipment stacked up. Your Honor, for the record, I like that information added to the witness's testimony. So this is definitely the right route.
Very well. Miss Buckler, please append what you just said to your testimony.
Sure thing. So we've got a new statement. The props of the new show were everywhere, and the captain was in the middle of it all. Right. Let's press here. Find out more, and then find out what to present. These props for the new show, what kind of things were they? A blow-up dolphin and anchor, then Red Stash's costume, the bag of coins, stuff like that. Okay. The bag of coins was part of it, because the coins were in the golden rock. An anchor, Red Stash's costume. Do we have a picture of that scene still? I do wonder. But do we even have a picture of that scene? Well, this is a bit of a mistake on our purpose behalf. Okay, we've noticed some difference here. Both his necklace, e.g. the whistle, and the scarf are gone. I'm confused at this point. Okay, I don't know why I noticed that then. With a fluttering red scarf. This is incredibly important. Oh well. We don't have the actual what happened there at the side of the pool to just look through things, which is what I want to do, but I think I've found something anyway. Blood dolphin and anchor, Red Stash's costume, the bag of coins, stuff like that. The captain was wearing his usual costume and the new props were all there. Wait a minute. Something about that doesn't seem right. What a minute as well. Is there a problem with Sasha's testimony? I'd say yes? You say the captain was wearing his usual costume, but is that completely accurate? Is this regarding, like, the scarf? Because that's the important thing, isn't it? Come on, Phoenix. What are you nitpicking my testimony for? Okay, I'm just going to go with this here. If we look at the body, we see that there's a discrepancy between that and your statement. You stated that the victim was wearing his usual costume, but you'll notice that the victim was wearing a red scarf around his neck. I imagine this red scarf is part of his costume for the new pirate show.
Oh, you're right. It's written here in the flyer for the new show. Featuring the dashing Red Stash with a fluttering red scarf.
Although I have to say, it just looks like a red scarf was added to his old costume. Yeah, well, the captain was never one to spend much money on costumes. But, you know, the captain wasn't wearing that red scarf. But in this photo, I believe I see a red scarf. Yeah, but it's not wrapped around his neck. It's just draped on top of his neck. That red scarf was packed away with the rest of the new show's equipment. It must have fallen on top of the captain when the equipment fell down. Oh, I see. That's kind of hard.
It looks like your discrepancy wasn't really a discrepancy after all.
So the scarf doesn't have anything to do with the case? But there's something about the timing of the stuff falling that bothers me. Hold on, the timing of the stuff falling. The timing. Maybe my theory has been all wrong from the beginning. Maybe the bag of coins isn't the murder weapon.
So your last cross-examination ends in failure as well. You should know that such a feeble slash will never hurt me. As I said, the orca made the equipment fall and then toyed with the body in the water.
Objection!
I'm sorry, Prosecutor Blackquill, but based on the circumstances of the scene, a defendant couldn't have dragged the body into the water after the equipment fell.
And why, pray tell, is that?
Well, why pray tell is that indeed as we continue on with this chain of thought next episode. So, obviously the scarf is going to be an important thing at this point in time. Could it be that the scarf is there and the scarf goes missing? I don't know. Could the scarf be a strangulation murder weapon now? I don't know. The movement of it, therefore, is a bit weird. But we'll find out more next episode on Dual Destinies. So I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.